So of the over 100,000 lawyers there that are members of the NBA, just about 15,000 were able to revalidate and only 12,000 voted.
Yes.
What does that say of the cohesiveness, of the cohesion in the NBA?
Well, what I suppose that does or says about the cohesion in the NBA is there's no gainsaying that too many lawyers in Nigeria are apathetical to what happens in the NBA. That has come from a position of several years of, the NBA not investing in the welfare, not giving proper direction to its members. So a lot of people just sit and say, look, as elections will come, what do I gain from the NBA anyway in one whole year? I cannot be bothered. But see, for those who want to see the NBA reach or achieve the aims and goals it should achieve, then we cannot sit back and say, okay, what does the NBA do for us? We must still come out and try and be part of the process and then try and enthrone a leadership that we believe can take the NBA to the next level.
So, Mr. Shittu, then the question will then be, how do you rekindle that confidence back in members of the NBA? Over 100,000 of them.
We first of all have to acknowledge the fact that the system as it is presently is not perfect. There are issues about verification, issues about accreditation, issues about voting. And we know that largely a number of lawyers remain disenfranchised from the process. I think we have to acknowledge that fact. Even from the statistic by the NFN has ruled out, majority of lawyers have not been a part of this process of electing their leaders. Only very few, 12,000.
But that's a reflection of the country as well.
Of the country, you see. So, but I think beyond that, beyond some of these inadequacies that we have spoken about, NBA itself must recognize the fact that it has to win the confidence of the rank and file. And it can do that through exemplary leadership. Leadership is key. If the leadership is integrity driven, is focused, pro people, because we are talking of when we are talking of MBA that will satisfy all these requirements that I have mentioned. It's not an MBA that will just defend the interests of lawyers alone. It is the MBA that will work for the people, for the Nigerian people. Because that is, unlike some other professional associations, MBA is different. Different in the sense that lawyers, by virtue of their training, orientation, and professional expertise, are supposed to work for the people. When you see the economy facing challenges without MBA speaking up, MBA has failed. MBA will also be failing if the political elite are allowed to carry on as if the law does not exist, or if there's bad governance, if human rights are endangered, if the rule of law is being subverted, if the constitution is not respected, if the leadership is not delivering in terms of democracy dividends. MBA is supposed to speak up to those issues. Speak for the Nigerian people. Speak for the voiceless. Speak for those who do not have a voice. That's the kind of MBA that will gain confidence of lawyers, will gain confidence of Nigerian people. And because MBA that is ready to defend democracy, MBA that is ready to defend fundamental human rights, MBA that is ready to defend the protection of rule of law and constitutionalism.
Are you implying that this MBA hasn't been there?
This MBA has not been doing enough. And I expect the MBA that is coming to speak to those issues. And that is a fact. That's a fact.
There are those who are concerned about the issues of corruption and the need for reforms that would see corruption taken out. So how can the MBA stand in the fight against corruption if there are allegations of corruption within
that's part of the challenge. That's part of the challenge.
So what's the solution?
For instance, the NBA that I'm speaking about must be in the forefront of the fight against corruption. And you cannot do that if you have skeletons in your cupboard. That is why NBA that we expect to see will be NBA that will see the fight against corruption as a major priority, including the fight against, in favor of good governance. I'm speaking generally. I don't want to indict anyone at this stage, because the incoming NBA executive is yet to take office. Is yet to. So my expectation, if they deliver on all those things, because we are talking of confidence, NBA that will be ready to fight for the independence of the judiciary, that will be able to speak for our judges when there are attempts to undermine the judiciary. All of these issues you are talking about that engage your attention. Issues of constitutionalism, issues of politics, issues of governance, those are issues that should be on the front burner.
You mentioned constitutionalism.
Yes.
When it comes to the issue of selecting, or should I say, who becomes the CJN, what role does the NBA have in ensuring that perhaps that should be ceded to the NBA instead of the executive?
Well, there are clear-cut constitutional provisions for selecting any judge, the chief judge, for instance. It's a three-pronged process. We have the body that is statutorily empowered to recommend, the body that is statutorily empowered to appoint, and the body that is statutorily empowered to ratify the appointment. NBA must be ready, must ensure that all these processes are followed through without any attempt to subvert them. So if you ask me, the role of NBA in the appointment of our judges should be to insist on the rule of law, insist on due process. You understand what I'm saying? Ensure that we have quality judges.
But politics has always come in the way.
NBA should speak against those vices. That's what I'm saying, talking about. All the ills of the society that we talk about. We should have an NBA that should be in the forefront of national discourse. And that's what we had. We had during the period of Alao Akaba Sharon.
Okay, Mr. Agunleye wants to say something, but I'll allow you to say that just shortly when we return after this break. Join us again.